today's session, I would like to discuss about Spring Cloud function, which is something like serverless programming. First, I wanted to discuss about a few points regarding Spring Cloud function from the official documentation. See, if you are observing, Spring Cloud function is a project which is having some features. Those features I'll try to explain you here. It just promotes the implementation of business logic via functions, meaning that uh, we are, with respect to even, with functional programming, we are implementing the business logic via functions. In a functional programming styles, we are able to implement. So, and moreover, if you are observing the second point, decouple the development life cycle of business logic from any specific runtime target. So that what happened, the same code can run as a web endpoint, a stream processor, or a task itself. So whatever the functions you develop, and those functions we are able to use as an endpoint itself. Okay, so support a uniform programming model across serverless providers, as well as the ability to run standalone either locally or as a platform as a service. So meaning that here, once you choose this approach, you no need to interact with a server or operating system. Without that, we can't provision the servers and any operating system, something like that, and we can make it run either locally or platform as a service itself, and it will be more useful, it will be more flexible. For example, if our requirement is something where your requirement is something you need to deploy the code into a cloud, so then definitely the Spring Cloud function is it's very useful. And moreover, it is very flexible with respect to AWS cloud deployment itself. Okay, so and as well as enable Spring Boot features, something like auto configuration, dependency injection, all these things on serverless providers itself. So this is the basic introduction about the Spring Cloud function. So programmatically, I will show you how exactly we can develop the REST endpoints just by defining a function. These things I just wanted to show you a basic program so that you will get the clarity itself. Okay, so but before you are understanding this, you should have a basic idea about Java 8 predefined functional interfaces like function, supplier, consumer, lambda expression, lambda. These things. On top of these things, if you have an idea, the application which I am going to show you, you can easily understand that. So if you don't have an idea, please have that knowledge and then try to watch this video itself. Okay, so. Okay, so come back to the program stuff. Let me close this, and for you, let me try to what I'll do is delete project. 1 second. Okay, let me stop this. Okay, I understood. I'll do one thing. Click on this. I'm just deleting my existing one. That is what I'm doing, nothing. Okay, that's it. So now, yeah, 1 second. Let's start with the project. This then brightness. Okay, so we'll try to take the Spring Boot project, take the Spring Starter project and give Spring Cloud function demo. Okay, so 8 jar, Maven, all these things are very much common, and but actually we can. Okay, I just don't add any dependencies because I'm going to add a few dependencies manually, so that's why I'm not adding any dependencies. So once the project gets started, I will show you what are the dependencies we require and what changes we have to do, you need to do in the pom.xml file. Okay, so yeah, it's done. Spring Cloud function demo under src main Java, and we have a main function, and if I'm opening the pom.xml file, what dependencies we require, Just try to like what Google it, otherwise I'll have yeah, here first Spring Cloud version we have to mention based on your Spring Boot parent. So my parent is 2.7.13. That is what we have selected. Okay, if it is 2.7.13, if it is a 3x, what is the compatible version? We have to cross check. Okay, I'll just stick with this 2.7.13, and for this I'm just adding this Spring Cloud version. Versions are very important. If you are I mean using a wrong version which is not compatible, even though your our code is correct, it won't work out, it won't support. So that's why better you take care with respect to versions itself. Okay, just I just copied this, come to this property stuff, control this, save it. So hoxton.sr5 I am using as a Spring Cloud version. Okay, so after this I'm going to add the dependencies whatever you required. So here what dependencies? See, Spring Cloud starter function web, Spring Cloud function compiler, Spring Boot DevTools, which is for auto reroll whenever you are making changes, as you already aware, and Lombok and Spring Boot starter test. Okay, these dependencies, and along with that, since in the dependency management I have to mention Spring Cloud version. That's it, right? And in the build also org.springframework.boot. Okay, Maven plugin. Okay, these are all very much common. What I am doing, I am just copying this. Okay, if here we did this already, yeah, up to here, let me copy. Okay, come back to here. So whatever the basic dependencies are there, just try to remove it and paste it. It's Control S. Yes, it's done. This is the first step you need to do it. Once it is done, yeah, it will. Okay, it will be updated. Okay, if you want, you can update the project also, run as, or else go to the Maven, click on the update project, force update. So now I'm just going to like what define the functions. I mean define the endpoints in a functional programming style itself. So to do this, what I have to do is uh, yeah. Okay, so now under main function, I mean main boot class itself, what I am doing, let me close this, let me save this, and I am going to like what define here method. Okay, and that method is returning something, and especially each and every method must be annotated with @bean, and that particular method I am going to expose as an endpoint itself. Okay, so here I am not adding any server, any other stuff, nothing I am adding. It is something like serverless architecture, serverless programming approach. So for example, if I want to like what pass, just try to understand, listen the scenario. I am just passing a string. Okay, I would like to like what reverse that particular string, or take any operation. For example, take for example, I am just passing the string. I would like to like what get the length of the string. So like this, take anything. I mean you're passing something and you're expecting something. So there is a input type, there is an output type. I mean passing something and getting some output. There is a return type, and then input type is also there. So if this is the case, I can take the help of a function, predefined function interface, a function. So if you are observing public, the return type is function string comma string itself. Here if you are observing, method name is anything you can define, reverse or length of the count, anything you can take. Okay, if I am taking reverse okay, so this is the method name. As you already aware, wherever the functional interfaces are there, that we can replace with the lambda expression. Okay, so java.util.function, this one you have to like what import. Let me save this, and now reverse inside the function if you are observing, we have apply method is there. Okay, so that particular method you have to like what implement. So since apply method, if you are observing this apply method, it is expecting something and it is returning something. So as we can replace with this lambda expression, so we don't require any method name, so that you already aware, right? So since it is returning something, return keyword is required. Okay, so followed by lambda expression. So what we have to do is, okay, input, and here new string buffer or else string builder. Okay, pass this input. On top of the string we don't have any reverse method, right? So again we have to like what write the manual logic. That is the reason I am just I'm just creating the string builder object by passing this string object. So once you get the string builder object, on top of this you can apply the reverse method. Once we will get this, if you are applying this toString method, so that it will be converted to the string object, so then it meets to the return type as string itself. So that is my logic itself. Let me save this. And one more point I told you, when I am trying to each and every method must be annotated with what, at the rate of bean itself. Let me save this. Okay, so whenever you define the method like this, then only you can expose this, okay, as a rest URL. Okay, so to observe this, to get an idea what we have to do, let me run as a SpringBoot app. So you check it. Yeah, it got started. See here, it got started. Tomcat started on port number 8080, started Spring, okay, cloud function demo application. But we don't have any URL, but the method name only I can use as a URL, REST endpoint URL itself. So to run this, what I have to do is, come to Spring cloud function. I think here if you are observing, here you see, you know already how to generate the jar and all. This runs the app and exposes its functions over HTTP. Whatever the functions you are defining right now in your code, okay, okay, you can, I mean, so just by passing this command, you are able to you are able to like what run that particular application as a, you are able to expose your function as a endpoint itself. So what I am doing, let me copy this. Okay, let me copy this. Just open the command prompt. My program is in our in this particular path, cd learning, cd aws, cls, cd spring cloud function demo cls. Okay, now yeah, whatever you copied, curl space -h content type text plain localhost 8080, and what is my method name here? I think reverse is the method name, -d hello. Instead of hello, if I am passing java jungle, so that we are getting the output in the reverse order itself. So in this way we are able to like what run our application, and then I can expose my functions over HTTP itself. Okay, I hope you understand, right? And moreover, like this you can do as many as you want. Okay, it's not only with respect to this one, you can apply the same kind of logic with respect to supplier or consumer also. For example, if I am taking supplier, okay, public, okay, supplier, I think supplier is there. If I go to the supplier, we have get method, meaning that it is not expecting any input, but it is returning something. So base, keeping in your mind, you have to like what make it happen. See here, supplier of book, okay, get book, or else if I am taking anything, for example person, okay, get persons. Okay, so here return supplier is also predefined. Okay, first of all person is not there, right? So you have to like what create this class as the person. Okay, click on the finish, and inside this person we have just private int, okay, person id, private string person name, that's it. And since you already added the lombok, you just add the data, no arg constructor, okay, all arg constructor, that's it, right? Let me save this. Okay, what is happening? Control shift O, control S, that's it, right? So now come back to like what our main application, and here inside the supplier what get method is there, right? So it is returning something. So return, um, it is not expecting any input, so directly output only it is expecting. So that is why I'm not passing anything inside this input. Return, so new person of person ID and then any person name itself. That's it. Save it. So in this way, and moreover, this method must be annotated with at the rate of bean itself. Let me save this. So since whenever you are making changes, since you added the Spring Boot DevTools as a dependency, it is auto reloaded. Now come back to here once again. Okay, so what I am doing, the same thing. Okay, let me see this. Instead of this, if a method is expecting something, then you have to like what pass this -d and then input. But right now, my method is not expecting anything, so that's why directly you just pass the method. So then you just click it, so that it is giving you the output itself like this. So in this way you can work with what a Spring Cloud functions itself. Okay, so here this is the serverless approach. Okay, that means you are exposing your functions only as a REST endpoint URLs itself. So this is I told you already the advantages of why we are going to the Spring Cloud functions based on the requirement. You can promote your implementation of business logic via functions itself. So when our requirement is to deploy the code into a Spring Cloud, so definitely we can choose this Spring Cloud function approach to implement our business logic itself, so that we no need to like what interact with more servers without interacting with the servers and OS. We are able to like what expose your functions as a REST URLs itself. So that is our ultimate goal itself. Okay, along with this you can get the Spring Boot features also. Okay, so I hope you understand. You please try to practice this. So now in my next video I am going to show you how we can work with the Spring Cloud function related stuff. I'm going to show you how to deploy this kind of approach related this kind of program, I mean this kind of project using Spring Cloud function into a AWS by using Lambda. Okay, by using Lambda service. Okay, so that is my next video. So meanwhile you try to practice. Okay, so I hope you are understanding. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you.